Beloved, let's continue to worship the God who ruled the heaven and the earth. What a God. We're still on our theme, a call to prayer and fasting. And I believe as we exercise this theme, miraculous things will come to pass in your life. Join us on this journey as we deprive ourselves, my God, of food and feed our spirit man. We're on our second subpoint, which is the leader interceding for Judah. Right? And we have looked at number 1, verse 6 to 7, recognition of God's sovereignty. Jehoshaphat recognized who God, the God that he is serving and praying to. Now, verse 7 to 6, our second subpoint. Alright? Remembering God's promise. Verse 7 through to 8. Remembering God's promise. Now watch the verse now. Hear Jehoshaphat in his prayer. Our God, did not you drive out the inhabitants of this land before your people, Israel, and give it forever to the descendant of Abraham, our friend? They have lived in it and have built it a sanctuary for your name, saying, listen to this now, if calamity comes upon us, whether the sword of judgment or plague of famine, we will stand in your presence before this temple that bears your name and will cry out to you in our distress, and you will hear us and save us. Remembering God's promises. No, Jehoshaphat recalls God's faithfulness in driving out the inhabitants of the land before Israel and give it to them as an inheritance. You need to look back at what God has done. He reminds God of the sanctuary built for his name and the commitment of the people, oh God, to seek his presence in time of distress. The promise. This reflects Jehoshaphat's reliance on God's covenant promises. He will keep his promises. And as you fast and pray, remind God, Lord, you have said this. You told us that the weapon that formed will never prosper. This is your word. Remember God's promises. Jehoshaphat is appeal for God's intervention based on his past acts of deliverance. Remind God of his promises. And know, great Jehovah God, so many times You have delivered us in the past. Oh. You change not, the same yesterday and forevermore. You say when we come, and if we call, before we call, you already answer. As you teach us your way, your principle. Teach us to roll back the curtains of memory. Father, take your place in our lives. We must decrease. Our flesh must not have dominion over us. We give you praise in Jesus' name.